In a quiet little village nestled between rolling hills and whispering woods lived a poor widow and her only son, Jack. Their cottage was small and crumbling, the thatch roof sagging, and their clothes patched and worn. Yet Jack had a bright spirit, always quick with a smile, though his belly often grumbled with hunger. Their last treasure was a gentle white cow named Daisy, whose milk had kept them alive. But one gray morning Daisy gave no milk, and Jack's mother, with sorrow heavy in her eyes, said, "Jack, my dear, we can't keep her any longer. Take Daisy to the market and sell her. Be sure to fetch a fair price, for it is all that stands between us and starvation." Jack nodded, kissed his mother's cheek, and set off with Daisy's rope in hand. On the road, as sunlight dappled through the trees, Jack met a peculiar old man in a tattered cloak. His eyes gleamed strangely, and he stroked his long beard as he studied Jack. "Good morning, lad," the old man croaked. "Fine cow you've got there. I'll make you a bargain." Jack's eyes brightened. "How much will you give me for her, sir?" The man chuckled. "Oh, not silver, not gold, but something far greater. Look here." He opened his hand, revealing 5 beans, each shimmering faintly with a greenish glow. "These are no ordinary beans. Plant them tonight, and by morning wonders will await you." Jack hesitated. "Just beans? For Daisy?" The man leaned closer, his voice a whisper. "Magic beans, boy. Worth more than you can dream." Something in his tone, mystery, promise, maybe even danger, pulled at Jack's heart. Without another word, he handed over Daisy's rope and tucked the beans into his pocket. Then he headed back home. When Jack reached home, he proudly told his mother of the trade. But instead of delight, her face grew pale with anger. "Beans?" she cried. "You sold our cow for beans? Oh, foolish boy!" And with trembling hands she snatched the beans and hurled them out the window. Then she wept bitterly, and Jack went to bed without supper, guilt pressing heavily on his chest. But the night was alive with magic. Under the silver moon, the beans stirred where they had fallen, sprouting, twisting, reaching. By dawn, an enormous beanstalk towered above the cottage, its green vines spiraling high into the clouds, so tall that its top vanished from sight. Jack woke, rubbed his eyes, and gasped. The old man spoke true. Without a second thought, he began to climb. Higher and higher he went, the ground shrinking far below. Birds circled him in wonder, clouds brushed against his cheeks, and at last he reached the top. There, stretched before him, was a strange land, bathed in golden light. Fields wider than valleys, trees taller than towers, and in the distance, a colossal castle. Its gates carved from oak as thick as ships. Jack's heart raced. "I must see who lives there." As he crept near, he met a woman as tall as a tree, the giant's wife. Though her face was stern, her eyes held kindness. "Where do you come from, little one?" she asked, her voice like rolling thunder softened by pity. "I climbed the beanstalk, ma'am. I'm hungry, and I've come a very long way," Jack said meekly. She sighed. "You should not linger here. My husband is a giant, fierce and cruel. If he finds you, he'll eat you in a single bite. But you look half-starved. Come inside, quickly." She gave him bread and milk, but before Jack could finish, the ground trembled, the sound of thunderous footsteps. "Fee, fi, fo, fum! I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." Jack froze. but the giant's wife shoved him behind the curtain just in time. The giant stomped in, sniffing the air. "Wife, I smell a man." "Nonsense," she said firmly. "You smell the stew I've been cooking." Grumbling, the giant sat, devoured his meal, and then bellowed, "Bring me my hen." From a golden cage, his wife brought forth a hen that laid golden eggs. At a command, it clucked, and out rolled an egg of pure gold. Jack, peering behind the curtain, stared in awe. Such treasure! When the giant at last fell asleep, snoring like thunder, Jack crept out, seized the hen, and fled down the beanstalk. His mother wept with joy when she saw the golden eggs, for at last they would never starve again. But greed, or perhaps curiosity, stirred in Jack's heart. Days later, he climbed again. When he got to the giant's house, he saw a golden harp playing on its own, its voice sweeter than nightingales. And again, Jack tries to steal the harp, but as he carries it away, the harp cried out, "Master, master!" The giant awoke with a roar and thundered after him. Jack scrambled down the beanstalk, the harp clutched tight, the giant shaking the vines as he descended. "Mother, bring me the axe!" Jack shouted as his boots touched earth. With one mighty swing, he struck the stalk. It shuddered, cracked, and toppled. The giant, roaring in fury, fell with a crash so great the ground quaked, and then lay still, never to rise again. Breathless, Jack dropped the axe. His mother rushed to his side, clutching him in relief. Together they gazed at the harp and the hen, their fortune secured. From that day on, Jack and his mother lived in comfort, never knowing hunger again. Yet Jack never forgot the climb into the clouds, the giant's booming cry, and the wild, reckless courage that had changed his fate forever. Courage and boldness bring reward. If you have learned something from this story, let us know in the comment section below. Till we meet again.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you in our next video.